Hey, good morning. I'm Angela Tierney. I'm a Saint Beauty artist, and in today's tutorial I'm going to go over troubleshooting using Saint creams. And I've asked customers what were their number one transition issues from a liquid to a cream, and I got some really good feedback. A little bit of a transition and a learning curve when it comes to creams. What I've noticed when I'm helping people with creams and we're doing these one-on-one videos, they're doing exactly what I did back in the day. This is what I would do. I would grab my brush and just dig in that makeup like this and start doing this. So as you do that, you're just going to, a lot of people have red, so you're just gonna pull blood right there to that surface, so that's going to make it more red. And I am so guilty, I did the same thing. If you have redness, let me show you a little something that will help you. I'm going to take a small end of a brush, so just a little end, and watch that. So I beat the heck out of that cheek. But on this side, I'm just gonna tap a little bit of product. So you can see these brushes were made to pick up creams, and so they pick them up very well. You don't have to dig in there. You just barely touch the brush a little bit and start pressing lightly on your redness. And then you can pick up a little more and just softly tap the redness versus what I did over there. And you can see how it's just starting to make that go away. The main struggle is how much cream do I use versus my old foundation, because most people, when they use a liquid foundation, it's like putting a mask on your face. It's a complete mask. It's no longer your skin. It's a complete different color, and it is just totally covering your face. And so a lot of people are used to that. So figuring out how much to put on your face, it's just gonna take a little practice. But if you wanna do a one-on-one video with me, I'm so happy to help you. But just keep in mind, brushes make a big difference. So if you're not using one of our brushes, I can tell you right now that's probably the problem. So what I do is tap, like I showed you, I tapped 2 times, okay? So I'm just tapping on it, I'm not swiping it. And then I start tapping whatever it is that I want to neutralize in my face. And then I can always go tap more. So as you play around with your creams, just start with a little and kind of build up. It's very buildable coverage. Sometimes when people get their makeup and they're not sure how it looks, they'll send me a picture. And I'm so happy, like if you are doing your makeup and you're like, I just want Angela to look at this and tell me if there's anything that she would do differently, or some tips, I will be honest. I will get a picture and it'll look like this. What did I just do with that brush? Okay. And I will see where someone went like this. Okay, and literally it looks like that. Okay, so you can see it's not blended. I can see the difference in my skin. It's too much. Let's say you have this situation, it doesn't look blended, and you're like, oh, well, now what? Now what do I do? So there's 2 options. You can either use a sponge and wring it out, like wet it really well, squeeze it out in a towel just so it's damp, and you could bounce a sponge on that and it will completely pick up excess, it will completely blend it. But you can also flip your brush over and just go like this. That's it. When I first started using this makeup, I was reflecting back, okay? I started using this December of 2017, so it's been a minute. So I had to really go back into the archives, be like, what was it like when I first started using it? Because I use it all the time and it's so easy now. But one thing I didn't think creams did as well as liquids was cover what I wanted it to cover. And I was like, why is this happening? So I've got sun damage here, okay? So if I take a brush and I go like this, like we would normally do, right? It's still coming through. Okay, that's because it's an application problem. Do it more like this, okay? So I'm gonna stipple this time, which is going to add more coverage. Okay, so look how I'm just lightly pressing, like super soft. I'm barely touching my face because nothing goes down in these brushes. Look how clean it is down there. Nothing like a liquid, most of it seeps down in your brush. Everything you put on your brush that's a cream is gonna sit right here. It's so nice. So you don't have to do a bunch of this, it's all right there. And the softer you actually touch your face, the more coverage you're gonna get. Is that crazy? What I have learned over time and practice is doing that first and then finishing my makeup and coming back with the multitasker brush. I'll take this little teeny tiny brush. You have to have this. I'm not just saying that to sell you something. I swear I will only tell you the truth. This brush is going to make your life so much better, because anywhere you have a little teeny thing that you want to cover, then you can do that at the end. If it's something that's going to be under your blush, then maybe touch that first. So let's think about wrinkles too, because most of us have wrinkles. If you don't, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. If you have wrinkles and you're putting your highlight very strongly on those areas, you're just putting a lot of light on the wrinkles, which are gonna make them stand out. So when a lot of people have wrinkles here, and so I start in this area here, and I'm just blending this around. So you can see I tapped in my cream a couple, maybe 3 times I tapped on it, and and then whatever's left, I'll just kind of feather down, because normally we don't have a lot we need coverage there for. On my jawline here, I just don't need a lot of makeup there. I don't have a lot of stuff I'm concerned about. There's like one sunspot there that end up like maybe one over here. I can touch those with the multitasker at the end if I want to, but I'm just going to, I'm kind of mixing these 2 colors right now for my jawline because I'm a little bit more light. And so I'm just going to kind of softly do this. And if you want to be color matched, let me know, because when I color match you, I send you back your picture and I circle where these colors go on your face to help you out. Plus I send you a new customer video that takes you through step by step. But see how I just barely put product there, and it looks now even, it matches my neck, and I barely put anything on there. I'll just show you how I do a little bit of extra coverage. So I'm just going to take this multitasker, I'm barely going to touch it, barely. And I'll touch this little spot right here, just to show you that if you have something that bothers you, you can just barely touch those areas. You don't have to go back and add a lot of makeup at all, okay? And then I've got a couple right here. With the contour, you do have to kind of pat your brush in there a little bit more if you're using this brush, the blend brush. Let's throw in a little blush. I'm gonna use Plum. Let's use a little bit of Plum. So with blush, it's a cream. It's a cream as well. I'm going to do this very softly, because if I covered some things here with my cream foundations and I come in here with my blush and I go like that, then I'm going to wipe off what I did. So I'm just going to tap it on like this. And on this side, I'll use this blush brush so you can see the difference. And you don't need much. These are so pigmented. So I'm just tapping. I tapped 2 times, maybe 3. We'll go for 3. Tapped, not dug, not swiped. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. And see how I'm tapping? Soft, like I'm barely touching my face because the cream is sitting right on the top of that brush. Okay, let's go into brightening really quick, because that's another thing. We see a lot of YouTube videos and we see things where people are really caking on the concealer. So remember, we mostly have wrinkles under our eyes because we're smiling and laughing and talking and making facial expressions. We have wrinkles. If you put too much light, you're just drawing attention. So you don't want a lot. So my best tool is my ring finger. You don't even have to go buy these. And then I start in the inner because that's where we mostly have our darkness and the least amount of wrinkles. So I start here. And I just start softly patting outward. Okay, because I just see it looks nice and bright, but it doesn't look like a lot of makeup because it's not a lot of makeup. Okay, then you can, and if you have a lot of wrinkles up under here and you already used your darker color up there to neutralize, don't feel like you have to go all the way up under there again. You don't. You can just come down here and not put the light on those deeper wrinkles. Because as we get older, these wrinkles get deeper. So don't put the lighter shade all the way up. Just kind of stay down here. Okay, then I did a little bit more. You can take this down the sides of your nose and that will kind of make it blend. Like that. You can put a little bit of your brightening color right there. Unless you have a lot of wrinkles on your mouth, then don't. And then a little bit on your chin. You can put a little bit here. I'm going to, now that I've done that, just add a little bit of amber right there on the darker spot. So that's another thing too. Your darker color is your color correcting shade and to match your darker tones. So you wouldn't take your lighter color and put it over something. You don't do that because it's whatever you're concealing is darker. So if you put something lighter on top of it, it's just going to show through. I forgot all about my nose. Sitting here like it's all done. So with my nose, I do take my darker color in a small brush and I just kind of softly tap because a lot of us have redness on our nose. Do you have redness on your nose? So I'm like tap, tap, and then I'm tapping it soft, and then I'm tap again, soft. So we're gonna do bronzer because a lot of people with this bronzer being so pigmented, it looks gorgeous. Doesn't matter if you're fair or not, it's going to look really pretty on you, but you can get a little bit crazy with it. You can. So this blush and bronzer brush is amazing for it. It's got this real fluffy end, which means the fluffier the brush, the less product it's going to pick up. So I'm going to tap just a couple times. See how much that picks up and it's so pigmented? I'm just going to add a little bit. And I'm telling you, I'm barely touching my face with this. Barely touching my face, just light. Just to add a little warmth. And then I can leave my neck like this if I want to because it matches because I picked a lighter color. So you have the alternative of taking your lighter shade and matching your neck with it, or grab your Bella bronzer. On my eyelids, tapped like 3 times on the small end of a brush, and I'm taking my lighter color, and you can use your darker color, it doesn't matter. You're basically just trying to prep your lids to be one color since you're going to be putting multiple colors on them, and you already have multiple colors in your eyes. And you can also brighten in here. Most of us get really dark right there. So you can add a little bit of your brightening shade right there. Okay, I tapped a couple more times again, and I'm just kind of tapping on my eyelid and a little bit more. So just remember, creams are very buildable. You can just add a little as you need it. If you want me to be your artist, I'm here for you. If you want to be an artist, I'm here for you. You could join me. Have a great day.